That's right. You heard it. You seen it. $140,000 landscaping job. And I know what every single person is wondering. T, get to the goodies. Get to the juicy part. How much money did you make? Well, we're going to get into that at the end of the video, but I want to walk you through how I was able to close this deal. And I actually didn't even close this deal. You know who closed this deal? A special person named Taylor. Taylor met with his customer. He designed the entire project and he closed the deal. And all I did was go and meet with the customer, mark the plants that were going to be taken out, and the boys finished the entire job. I have found out very, very easy process to slowly remove myself from the business. And you're like, wait a second. If you remove yourself from the business, then the business will fail. Well, that's incorrect. Let me tell you why. The more time you spend in your business in the beginning, the better your business will be. However, if I'm on my year, boys, I'm on year 8. Let's be real. Year 8. I cannot be doing every single little task and every single decision making that I did year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. I have to step away. And that's one thing that you as a business owner have to understand. And if you're watching this right now and you don't own a business and you want to own a business and you're like, oh, I want to be a landscaper. Let me tell you the real part of owning a business. It is harder than you think, but it's also easier than you think because the only person that's in your way is you. That's right. You're going to have to be worrying about making payroll. You're going to have to be worrying about paying your credit card if you're even fortunate enough to have a credit card. Because one of the biggest hacks, one of the biggest shortcuts and secrets to owning a successful business, especially a landscaping company, construction company, is having a credit card with no limit. My American Express has a $500,000 limit. So I can buy $500,000 worth of equipment, tools, materials, and I don't have to use any of my cash until the statement balance is due. Now you'd be like, credit is bad. Credit is horrible. Dave Ramsey credit. Okay. Business credit is a little bit different because I'm not taking out a loan. I'm just using American Express credit card to pay for materials while I build up the cash through progress payments and focusing on payroll first and then paying off the credit card at the end of the month as my statement balance is due. That is a responsible way of doing things. And you're like, well, that's not what my dad taught me. My dad taught me I need to pay for every single thing I get right away. And I need to use my cash. Okay, well, that's the old way of doing things. And if you're watching this video, most likely your dad doesn't have a company like mine. Most likely your dad hasn't been in business for 8 years. If he has, why would you be watching this video? And to be honest, I'm going to be real with you. This might offend you, but that's okay. The sheer arrogance of people is ridiculous. Most of you watch my videos. Most of you look at all the stuff on Instagram, video, or TikTok, YouTube, and you're like, "Oh man, dude, I want to have a company like T has." But none of you ever reach out. None of you ever message me. None of you ever buy anything from me, because what you're thinking is, I'm gonna figure it out on my own. I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go through trial and error, and I'm gonna do it myself. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I would not be here in my position I am today, sitting behind a microphone, looking at a screen of a job that we did, $140,000 job. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for people that had greater skills than I did. Having a mentor is the biggest hack, the biggest time saver ever known to man. And I'm not saying a mentor in school. School is a waste of time unless, okay, ready? Unless you want to become a doctor, lawyer, all that. No one cares about that. Like, you're not going to be a doctor, lawyer watching my videos. So for people that go in the comments and have an argument, oh, school is good because if you want to be a doctor and lawyer, you need school. Okay, moron, of course. I'm not talking about that. You do not need schooling to be in the construction industry. That's all I'm trying to say. Most of you message me on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere, and you say, T, I want to go to school to get my horticulture degree. Okay, what do you want to be, a plant expert, or do you want to be a business owner? Like, you guys have to get your priorities straight. What do you want out of life? Do you want to know every single plant there is known to man, or do you want to run a business and make some fucking money? Like, really ask yourself, what do you want? Horticulture degree is the dumbest thing you can do. I went to school for in my community college in Illinois, Horticulture 101. The guy teaching was an absolute moron. I fell asleep in every single class. I hated that place. And I didn't learn anything. I literally wasted 9 months of my life by going to Horticulture 101. And I still don't know any of the plants. And guess what? I moved. The plants in California are completely different than they are in Illinois. So if you're a young kid right now and you're going to school and you want to go to college because your parents said, oh, you want to be a landscaper, you need to go to college. You need to drop out as fast as possible and you need to buy every single thing I have that I'm selling of information, every single thing I have, and you will be in a much better position than if you were to go to school for a year. I will teach you more in 5 hours than you will learn in school in a year. And that's only in 5 hours. The biggest shortcut, biggest hack you can do is find a mentor. Find someone that was doing it. Find someone that you will trade lives with. And that's the person. Now here's the numbers, boys. $138,500 job, 1,156 man hours, expenses $54,157. The expenses fall into the category of concrete, pavers, retaining walls, plants, lights, rocks, everything. Payroll. Now you see payroll. Payroll's almost $70,000. You'd be like, T, how is that possible? Well, that payroll number is included with my overhead. My overhead includes my payroll number. So every single thing that office staff, all the equipment, payments, everything, fuel, it's all included in that $70,000. Now, when you have a business, you need to figure out this number because my cost per man hour is $67 an hour, and that will determine your success. Because what I used to do before is, because the guy would cost like $220 a day, and I would bill the customer $220 a day. This was like 4 years ago. I had no idea what I was doing. And if I had someone that could just show me, dude, you need to figure out your man hour. It's impossible that you're charging $30 an hour for labor. It's not possible. Once I figured this out, my entire business changed. Everything changed. Started making more money because I was charging correctly. Most of the time, you are losing money is because you're irresponsible with money. You don't know how to manage money. And most importantly, you're not charging enough. You're not charging at prices high enough for you to make money. And now, drum roll for the finished product. Boom. Waterfall countertop. Pay attention to that, boys. That's not an easy thing to do. But I put this entire job together. You know what I mean? Like, me and the team are fully responsible for putting this entire job together. And it, like, beautiful. That is amazing. Artificial turf, awesome. Pavers, great. I chose this pattern because I was like, maybe Taylor chose this pattern. But it's very simple. And simple works. Palm trees, I would have picked different palm trees, but it was the homeowner's call. The LED underneath the bench is insane. I wanted to do a bigger fire pit than this, but the homeowner decided she didn't want to spend $4,000 on a fire pit. But this is the view from the backyard. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. This is truly a paradise. We transformed this place into a paradise. So if you want to learn exactly how I do things, I literally teach you every single process. You have questions, you ask. You need somebody that can help you. You need a mentor. It is the easiest. I know I've repeated myself, but you guys are very hard-headed. You don't understand. You're young, 19, 20, 22, 23. If you're 30 watching this and you haven't reached out to me, like, bro, what are you doing? You're 30 years old and not successful. Like, you should be embarrassed of yourself. You need a mentor. Get on your game. Stop being arrogant. And you need people that can teach you things. I am a student of life. I don't have no problem reaching out to someone and saying, help me.